Okay. How many people are in here? Oh, I guess so. I've never seen this slide, so let's see how we do. Oh yeah, forgot. Hello, welcome everybody. No matter where you're tuning in from, whether it's here on Zoom or Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn or one of the many platforms we're streaming on, and I want to welcome you to another day of our Divinfi overview. We got some exciting new updates, so I'm excited to share them with you. Yeah, super excited. My name is Sam Hidja, if you don't know, and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer here at Divinfi, and I'm honored and privileged to be here. So thank you for being here, and I'm going to share some information with you that could possibly shift the entire direction of your life for both you and your family, your community, and eventually the world. So without further ado, let's get right into the information. Oh, that was smooth. I like that. Awesome. So welcome to the biggest launch in history, Divinfi, your freedom ecosystem. So before I get into the information, I am going to be talking about some investing, and for the lawyers, I have to read this. So past performance is not indicative of future results. Diversification does not eliminate the risk of loss. On all the information provided is reliable but not guaranteed, and it is for informational purposes only, not investment advice. We're all adults here, so if you choose to invest, just know that every single investment always has risk. No matter how well the traders, the investors have ever done, there's always a risk. So with that being said, our vision here is to create an ecosystem that brings freedom, whether financial, time, location, emotional freedom, to all 8 billion people here on Earth. And how do we do that? That's obviously a really big mission, a very deep mission. I'm going to show you the plan really quick, and so just stay tuned. And if you align with this and you see the vision, we'd love to partner with you. So without further ado, we're based here in Dubai. And the reason why we chose Dubai is because Dubai is, you've probably heard, right? You've seen what Dubai has created. And I didn't know this till recently, but what Dubai has created, the name, the brand, Dubai, where you see all these influencers, all these wealthy people living at and just showing their amazing lives. So it was actually created in the last 17 years, which is insane. My mom actually used to live here about 40 years ago, and she says it's literally completely different, like night and day. And the only way you can do something like that is by having a leader that is a visionary. And so the leadership here isn't politicians. They're not politicians. They're entrepreneurs. And entrepreneurship, it requires you to have a depth of vision to see further into the future than what most people can see. And so that aligns perfectly with us. And so they allow entrepreneurs like us here at Divinfi to be on the leading edge of things and to push the envelope of what's possible. So that's why we chose Dubai. Now I'm going to go into some of the products we have here. The first product is called Incomeversity. Incomeversity. So this is the wealth secrets that the rich teach that you and I never learned in school. This is what I wish I would have been taught rather than geometry. I remember the hot pot news and all of these things. I don't use that. You don't use that. And so we've created this product to really help people break free from the cycle of their JOBs, jobs, which stands for just over broke, living paycheck to paycheck, and moving into a system that helps you create infinite income. And so we have Money Mondays, which we did a session yesterday. We have Wealthy Wednesdays and Financial Fridays. All of these videos are actually going to be in the library, and so you can actually go back and rewatch them, and just master classes on different things, whether it's investing or how to be tax-free or how to become a network marketing professional, or all of the different skill sets that are really needed no matter what industry you choose to be in. So super awesome, excited for that. Now our second product is called our Divinfi banking system. And so really what it is, it's a platform where you can spend and send both cryptocurrencies and fiat currencies. So the top 45 cryptos, and then your main fiats like the US dollar, the euro, the pound, so on and so forth. And it's really cool, actually. We have both a physical and a virtual card for you to be able to spend or send that money anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter if you're in Zimbabwe, right? Or if you're in Brazil. You're able to spend and send the cryptos or the fiat. The only few countries that we're not actually able to get these cards in are the sanctioned countries, similar to like Russia or North Korea or whatever, right? So other than that, you're pretty good. Now, I had a couple of people ask about our licensing when it comes to the banking. So you probably have never heard of these. I know for a fact I didn't know anything about these, but for those people that are constantly like, oh my God, is this a scam or whatever, here are our licenses. You probably don't even know what they are, but you can look them up. We have all of these licenses right here. Now, the third product is called the Divinfi Swiss Fund, and it's essentially just a hedge fund that is located in Switzerland. And so these guys have been managing billions of dollars, and they're doing pretty crazy returns. I'm talking about 500% return in the last 4 years. And whenever you think about the state of the world, and if you look at specifically like America, which is like the superpower in the world, the US dollar is pegged to every other currency is pegged to the US dollar. The dollar is actually losing 1% in purchasing power every single month. So over a whole year, that's 12% in purchasing power that you're losing. So from 2023 till now, right? So we're in June, let's say June 2023 to June 2024, what you could purchase because of inflation is 12% less than what you could have last year. So you need to find a way to multiply your money so you can actually, number one, retain the value and then also grow it, right? There was a book called The Richest Man in Babylon, which I read many, many years ago. And he talked about the only way that you can actually get rich is by allowing your gold coins, quote unquote, and having them as little soldiers where they're out there and they're earning you income. So your dollars need to be working for you. And we'll talk about a little bit more about how you can do that. But this is one of the ways. And so these guys, they've done 500%, like I said, in 4 years. The way they were able to get these gains were by utilizing a hybrid advantage, which is using both technology and human traders. So it's 40% algorithms, 20% AI, and then 40% manual trading. So here's a sheet of their last few years. As you can tell, in April 2024, they did 5.22%. Like I said, you're losing about 1% a month. So they were able to do 5 times what you're losing in value per month, which is actually really amazing, because when you think about what the banks are giving you, they're giving you 1% a year. They're giving you 1% a year, but guess what they're doing? They're doing what you're too scared to do, which is invest in the markets. And so we've given you a legitimate way for you not to have to go into the markets and trade yourself. You just invest into our institutional level traders and allow them to do what they do best, which is just multiply your money, hands-free. So their minimum is for their normal clients is 200,000. And so what we've done and what we've become is the bridge between the institutional level traders and the retail traders, aka you and I. So you, instead of having to put $200,000 as an investment, you can get started with this for a minimum of $500 deposit, right? So you don't have to put 200K, you can put $500 and get the same gains. Pretty cool. Now I'm going to talk about some of the other products that we have. So I'm going to skip the brokerage service. We'll talk about that later. It's not really important right now. I'm going to go into the crypto fund. So the crypto fund is actually ran by Mr. Josh Williman. He's 25 years young right now, but at the age of 21, what he did was pretty legendary. He took his last $20,000, give or take, it was somewhere around there, and he put it into different crypto projects in the AI and the gaming space. There's two that I remember specifically. One was VeChain and one was Matic. And so after a few months, he was actually able to gain about 8,000% off of his $20,000. So he became a millionaire at the age of 21, which is unheard of. And so ever since then, he started going deeper and deeper into the crypto space and started to manage larger accounts. He has many million-dollar accounts that he's managing. And then he ended up opening up a fund for friends and family. So he came to Divinfi and he was like, hey, I'm going to be opening up this fund. The minimum is $50,000. Minimum is $50,000, and I'll do what I did in 2020. And so we gave him $150,000, and since December, he's done about 110, 120%. And he says that before the year's end, he should be able to do about 500 to 1,000% on the conservative side. I think he'll do more, but I know he's just being conservative with those numbers. And so the way he actually trades is not like day trading where he's trading, buying and selling. He just purchases certain coins with real life use case scenarios, and he holds them for a duration of time, let's say a few months to a year or whatever, and then he sells them off at the top. So I would definitely get into that as soon as possible, just because once it hits 80,000, once Bitcoin hits 80,000, he's gonna be closing out the fund because he just wants to get them at the lower side of things and then sell them at the top of the bull market. So if you're not in that, whether you're already part of the group or not, I would highly suggest getting into that. It's going to be massive. Now, the next program, which if you're already part of the community, you'll be able to experience today, is a program that Mr. Don Smith, who's in the house right now, he's cultivated over the last 44 years. And it's probably one of my favorite things just because of how much it shifted everything for me. So at the time, I had done over 12 years of personal development, read thousands of books, transformational workshops, leadership workshops. I done the breath work. I got certified in breath work. I did like the plant medicine. Don likes to call them the plants with the drugs in them. And none of that actually helped. I showed up to him with all of my BS, aka my belief systems, right? And so in a 2-hour session, he helped me go from, well, I was addicted to many substances, whether it was marijuana, smoked that for 12 years, sex, people pleasing, validation, a number of things. And actually, I was going through a divorce, and a few months before I actually met him in person, I was contemplating suicide, which they didn't know that. I was on the 48th floor of my penthouse in Malaysia, and I'm like having panic attacks daily, and I didn't know what was going on. And yeah, I was contemplating suicide. And I end up meeting Don, and within a 2-hour session, maybe even less, all of that's completely gone. And so it's absolutely revolutionary. Nothing, no kind of Tony Robb. I mean, as amazing as Tony is, and you know, the Gary V's of the world and all these guys, it is nowhere near what this program does. And it's so good that actually Don, for the most of his career in this field, He only worked with the elite of the elite. I'm talking about Olympic athletes in many different sports. I think 7, 8 different sports. He's worked with billionaires. Correction, 15 different sports. So double that. And then billionaires, he's worked with the guys that created the BlackBerry. And so he worked with 60 plus other executives. And by working with them one-on-one or in groups, he was able to help them take the company from 6.8 billion to 68 billion. So he helped them 10x a multi-billion dollar company, which is insane. So you'll get to hear from him today. Actually, you know what? I'm going to have him come up here for just a moment and give you guys a little bit of an overview of like what he does. And he'll actually have a session tonight for all the new people. If you've never experienced it, you'll be able to have your own experience, because it's nothing that I can actually tell you. It's something you just have to experience. So Don, if you'll come up here really quick. And here's the consciousness scale.
Okay. Here?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, everyone. It's pretty exciting to be a part of what Jamie is doing on the financial part, and to dovetail consciousness and currency, because I've run into people that were, well, I work with 8 billionaires, so yes, I've run into the big ones, and everything was still there, like all of the over here, the consciousness, it was still sitting there, back and forth, and now the opportunity to dovetail both the consciousness and the currency simultaneously is amazing. And so basically, what, like everybody said, well, how? Like, how do you do what you do? Well, there's a couple of little pieces that I'd like to share with you to give you a sense of what you can expect. So first of all, the traditional model is using the intellect. And it's the intellect that's creating all the difficulty. So the traditional model is using the problem to fix the problem. And that's why it doesn't work. It's like, so on my card it says like, I shift you from the beliefs, both negative and positive. Now the traditional model is shifting you from the negative beliefs to the positive beliefs. I'm talking about shifting your negative beliefs and positive beliefs into the knowing of who you truly are. That's the key. And when that happens, there's a gigantic shift in consciousness. And on this chart, this conscious and currency chart, there's like, it's 210 is where humanity is right now. 210 out of 1,000. Out of 1,000. In 2 hours, average, not guaranteed, average, I can take someone from 210 to above 700. I've seen them go to 900 in 2 hours. Okay? I've monks spending 30, 40 years doing that. I'm talking 2 hours. Yes, there is a little bit of difficulty holding it because the person is so geared to all those old programs. And it's letting that go and surrendering that makes the difference. So let's use a metaphor for a moment. It seems to work best. Kind of Jesus did that as well, metaphors. And what it is that it's like an engine. Okay? The traditional model is working on fixing the engine. Fixing the engine. I don't touch the engine. I reprogram the key. And the engine starts running on its own. That's the difference. So those are two of the big differences. Okay? And so, and the other is that it's neurological, not intellectual. And there's one thing that happened in your life that all of your programs are associated to. So you don't deal with one at a time, you deal with the one that's driving them all. And it's neurological, not intellectual. And it's a bubble that needs to be found and lanced. And then everything just falls into place. So that's basically it. Would you agree, Sam?
I agree.
So yes, I just put together seven stories. 7 stories. And as I read them, each one of them is like, who's going to believe this? Like, who's going to believe that a guy saved $615 million in 6 minutes? Who's going to believe that I met a guy in the garbage room in my condo in 15 minutes? He had prostate cancer. And 3 weeks later, he calls me and says, my cancer's gone. Janessa, she'd been in the hospital more times in the last year than out. I spent 2 hours with her, and everything was gone. She never went back. Like, how is that possible? I'm going to tell you a little secret. You're that effing powerful, and you're doing it against yourself. And I show you how to do it for yourself. That's the difference.
Yep, it's really out of this world. It's not something you can even intellectually even understand. It's something you have to experience. So if you haven't experienced it and you're a part of the membership, definitely be here. We'll send out the link. It's at 9 p.m. You'll be able to experience your own transformation with Don. And just to kind of piggyback of what he said, just to give you guys a little bit of some reference. So here on this scale, this is created by a guy named Dr. David Robert Hawkins in a book called Power versus Force. And he's talking about every single emotion is on a certain level of consciousness, a certain level of vibration, right? And so at the top of the scale, where it says 700 to 1,000, the pink, that is where your natural state is. That's actually where Buddha and Jesus and Muhammad and all the great teachers, that's where they were at. A guy named Hitler, he was at 75. Where I was before I met Don was about 125 on a good day. Okay, so that's why I had all of the addictions and whatnot. I had a lot of desires of, I wanted to make something great out of myself, and I built many businesses to the top 1%. But you know what was happening was I kept self-sabotaging myself because I didn't know who I truly was, and I kept on backing myself up in a corner, self-sabotaging, getting rid of all my money so I could do it all over again. And I was in the cycle over and over and over and over. And I thought it was a part of the process. No, it's just I was self-sabotaging myself. And so what Don is able to do is wherever you're at on this chart, he's able to take you from where you are to the top of the chart. And so be there. If you haven't signed up, we'll give you a chance to get started today, and you can experience this. And just on a side note, Don actually has had people pay him $1 million for a session, a one-on-one session, and he's had executives pay him $125,000 for a group session. So the fact that you get this each, by the way, $125,000 each for a group session, and so the fact that you get this in our ecosystem is just invaluable. I can't even talk about it enough. You just have to experience it. So our next product is our AI crypto trading software, which is really exciting. The guy that developed this, he had been developing it since 2017, and it uses deep learning AI technology, so it gets better over time. And so it trades cryptos. It's trading USDT and Litecoin, the most 2 stable coins. and it's hands-free. So all you do is you connect it to the Binance, you API it in. Doesn't really matter what that means. It's just he doesn't have control of your crypto. He just trades for you, and he's able to do 20 to 50% a month completely hands-free, which is insane. And the minimum to get into this is $500 US. And so it's still in beta right now. We're not letting anyone test it yet. We want to test it ourselves. In the first 4 days, it did about 3% growth, which is amazing. And here, probably in the next week or two, we're going to let some people that want to be beta testers to get in on this. So we'll keep you posted on that. Now, that's a crypto fund. I'm going to pass that. Now, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite things, the partner program. So the partner program, this is actually what shifted everything for me, because at the age of 18, I was buying and selling cars. So not selling, I was buying them for different markets. We had some people that were funding it. At first I was doing it myself, and then I found some buyers here in like Dubai and Saudi and all that stuff. So I'd buy cars in the States, and then we would ship them out to different markets. And I made my first 6 figures at 18, which is really good, but I was losing everything else. Relationships, I was losing my health. I literally was living off of cigarettes and Red Bull, if you could believe that. Which is funny, because like if you follow me, I'm like very much health conscious now, so it's interesting. And yeah, I mean, I ended up meeting a guy, and he showed me this plan. He started drawing some circles on a paper, and I'm like, oh my God, like this is pretty interesting. But I was a bit skeptical, because I was so used to the traditional model of having to work a job or even have a business, but it had to be physical, and I had to be there, and I had to work it like every single day. I was working 80 hours a week, right? And so the fact that he showed me how he was able to earn 7-8 figures from his computer was like, what the heck? Okay, this is new. And so this system, we ended up actually taking it and implementing it into our community, into our ecosystem. So I'll talk a little bit more about it, but the cool thing is that you have the ability to earn infinite income. So however much money you want to make, you're able to earn that. It's simple, right? I think it was Jim Rohn. He said, the person that brings the most value to the marketplace and is the hardest to replace is the one that's going to earn the most income, right? So the second thing about this is that you have the ability to earn residual income, right? So residual income is doing the work one time, getting paid for it over and over and over and over again. Right? Unlike your job, right? If you work for 8 hours, you get paid for 8 hours. But here, you can do the work one time, and you can get paid for it over and over and over again, which is really cool. I mean, even now, I remember doing some work in a company years ago, maybe 3-4 years ago. I got paid for them yesterday. Like, how would you like to do that? To be able to do the work one time and keep getting paid for it over and over and over again. So the next thing is there's no qualifications or experiences needed. Whether you got a PhD from Stanford or you got a PhD from prison, right? It doesn't matter. Whatever has happened in your life, that doesn't matter. And that goes kind of hand in hand with Don's program. It doesn't matter what you did or you didn't do. You have the ability to create whatever you want because you're infinite. And so personally, I grew up in a poor household. My parents came from, they were Palestinian, but they were in Jordan. That's where I was born. Came to the States at a year. We lived in a trailer. My dad paid, I think, about $200 a month for that trailer. It had bullet holes in there in Alabama. Like, it's crazy. You know, I was that kid that slept 7 out of 8 periods in the class. Is in the back in the class. I didn't do any homework. I didn't do any tests. Like, I could have cheated and I still didn't do it. I didn't even try. And, you know, I've been to jail multiple times. Nothing serious, but I had some interesting experiences. I was a rebel as a kid. I dropped out of college in my second year because my business teacher, she was trying to teach me how to build business. But then I asked her how much she made, which I mean, it's kind of rude, but I asked anyway. And she said she was earning $50,000 a year. And I'm like, what the heck? Why am I learning from you? I'm like, I'm trying to earn $50,000 a month. So I left. So I don't have a college degree. I barely passed high school. And for the last 12 years, I've been able to travel to 25 different countries. I've earned millions of dollars. I've helped probably 24 plus people earn a 6-figure plus income. I mean, yeah, it's been awesome. So if I could do it, and if there's so many stories I could tell you, if those people could do it, then you watching this, you can definitely do it. Now, the last aspect is that we do have some team building incentives. So you're in business for yourself, but you're not in business by yourself. So you have a whole support system here to help you. We have some bonuses. I'll talk about those later. And like I said, you're not here by yourself. You have a whole community that's going to help just help you with your success. And I don't like the word growth, and I'm pretty sure Don would agree with that, but it's helping you tap into your infinite self. So we need to change that, by the way, on the slide. So right now we're in pre-launch. So what does that mean? Is that you're at the very beginning of this. And so we have a very big mission. And when it comes to business, it's all about timing, timing, and timing. So there was, I read this the other day, that if you invested $100 in stock in this company called NVIDIA, which has revolutionized the AI space, you would have over $600 million today. 20 years, you would have flipped $100 to $600 million. That's exactly where you are with Divinfi. You're at the very beginning of something that's going to be, I believe, a multi-trillion-dollar company. So you want to get in at the very forefront. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about this book. It's called The Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. He wrote this. This is his second book. The first book was Rich Dad Poor Dad. Amazing book. I recommend both. He talks about the 5% of the population gets paid on the right side of the quadrant. So there's 4 ways you can earn income. So you can be an employee, where you trade your time for money. You can be self-employed, where you don't have a job, but you own a job, where you have to still be at your supplement store, at the flower shop, whatever. Now, the 95% of the wealth is made on the other side, which is the big business. As a big business owner, we have systems and you have leverage, and then being an investor. So we're going to show you with our system how you can be a big business owner with leverage and also be an investor. Because this is the only way to actually have financial freedom. Every other way, you're going to have to work for money. And Warren Buffett said it best. He said, if you don't find a way to earn money in your sleep, you will have to work until you die. So, I mean, you might as well figure out the money situation so you can focus on things that are important. So 95% of people use active income. Like I said, you work 8 hours, you get paid 8 hours. 5% use passive income. And we're going to show you how to create passive income. So the cool thing is nowadays, it's the easiest it's ever been to earn income by leveraging technology. And so it's really interesting how things have shifted. Only 20 years from now, 20 years ago, I remember I was like, we could, you still dial up and stuff like that, right? Like you couldn't use the internet while mom was on the phone or dad was on the phone, right? So now it's like you have your phone, which has more technology than the very first spaceship. Your phone has more technology than the first NASA spaceship. I don't know if they went to the moon. That's a whole other conversation. But that's the level of technology that you have in your pocket. And so if you're not leveraging that, you're honestly, your smartphone isn't a smartphone. It's a dumb phone. Okay, so we have something that's never been done before. It's actually our MLM plan, which I'll talk about here in a little bit, like what the plan looks like. But we've actually are implementing it on the blockchain. And the reason why this is so important is because number one, it ensures transparency, security, and fairness. And if you're watching this and you're probably one of my friends on Facebook or whatever, and you're a big leader, you've probably experienced it where you've had an owner or the team shift your entire downline to someone else, or they stop paying you. Well, with this, we actually are allowing everything to be completely transparent and immutable. So there's no manipulation that's able to happen, which is just, it's never been done because the owners want control. They want to control everything. But with our corporate team and where we're at, especially with Don's program, we've let go of control, and we just want a fair system for everyone. So we're going to be using smart contracts for automated payments. So as soon as you make a sale or whatever, you enroll someone, you actually are going to be able to get paid. So it's pretty sweet. I've never seen anything like this implemented. So we'll update you as these things are done. We're actually, I think, about a few weeks away from this being fully ready to go. But the biggest thing is this eliminates human error and fraud. So it's just next level. And like I said, secure and fair downline management. So there's no one can shift. You can build this thing and go do something else. We don't care. You did the work, you're gonna get paid. You're gonna get rewarded. And so, like I said, just to overview the benefits of the blockchain is transparency, security, efficiency, integrity, and trust. So very cool. Just another conclusion. And here's the interesting stuff. We're actually going to be adding some more ranks here and just shifting it to make it a little bit even more juicy for you guys. So we'll let you know whenever that's ready. But we just got off the phone with these MLM consultants. So as of now, this is what we have. So it doesn't matter what business you're in, whether it's network marketing or direct sales or a traditional company. What are you getting paid for? You're getting paid for creating a network of clients that are, whether they're paying a monthly service or they're like a reoccurring client. It doesn't matter, or maybe they're signing up every once in a while. It's a network of clients that are paying you for your services or your products. So it doesn't matter where you are, what industry you're in, that's all you get paid for. And so same thing here. But here we actually have enough value to where they are paying for a membership and you get paid residually, right? You get paid every single month, actually every single week, correction. So you get paid every single week, and I'll show you how you can create a residual income by referring people to our ecosystem. So there's two teams. There's the left team and there's the right team, right? So on your left team, let's say you invite 3 people to the ecosystem. 2 people go on your left, 1 person goes on your right. That's 3 total. You're gonna get paid $25 per week. That's $100 a month. We also give you a small bonus of $50 per person that you refer. I kind of went a little crazy my first few, I think it's been less than 10 days. I think I've referred 17 people. So, it's just really as much as you set the standard for where you want to be. So the next rank is called Connector 500. You only need 3. You teach your 3, let's say it's your mom, your brother, your sister. You teach them how to get their 3. And once you have 10 on your left, 10 on your right, you're going to get a little raise. All right. So it's $125 a week, $500 a month. Pretty awesome. So what's really cool is that we have our, if maybe you don't have money to invest into the products, this is a really good place to start so you can start to become an investor, start to shift into becoming an investor. So you could start now taking that $500 that you're earning monthly and put that into our products that are going to earn you residual income hands-free. So that's normally what I would tell my my clients, like, hey, you don't have the money, that's fine. Refer some people, plug into the system. Now you have an extra $500 every single month. Take that $500 and plug it into the AI trading software. Plug that in to the Swiss fund. Plug that into the crypto fund, right? And so we have something for everyone, no matter where you are, what level you're at. we can help you start to earn some residual income. And so it's just about education. Like, how can you get, it's not about, oh, I don't have the capabilities. It's like, how can I get there? We have a plan for you. So the cool thing is at $500 a month, if you wanted to create residual income in a traditional sense, how you would have to go about it, here's one example. You would need to go and get a loan of $250,000 from the bank and invest that into a property and then rent that out, hoping that you'd get someone to rent it out long term. Or you could just invite 3 people and teach them how to invite their 3, and then now you're earning $500 in residual income per month. So it's pretty powerful what we have here. Now the next rank is called Connector 900, 20 on your left, 20 on your right. Only invite 3 personally, your mom, your brother, your sister. And you're earning $225 a week. That's $900 a month. Pretty awesome. So next rank, Connector 1500, 40 on your left, 40 on your right. You only need 3, like I said, and you're earning $375 a week. What's really cool is that, here's a story. We have Mr. Will right here. So he's originally from the Philippines. When he met Jamie a few years ago, he was actually working at a customer service call center. And so he was earning about $300 a week in the Philippines, which is pretty good actually in the Philippines. I remember there was a lady, she wanted to clean my place. She was getting paid 3,000 pesos, about $90 a month at a school. Yeah, so it's pretty crazy. So he was earning $300 a month. And he ended up joining the company at the time, had a very similar plan. And he had invited 3 people. Those 3 people turned into 40 on his left, 40 on his right. And about 3 months, he 5x'd his income. Imagine 5x'ing your income in 3 months, right? And so it's pretty powerful what we have, especially whenever you think about the fact that 80% of the world is earning less than $1,000 a month. So this is life-changing income. Now, networker 3K, 75 on your left, 75 on your right. You only need 3 still, $750 a week. That's $3,000 a month. Now, I want to ask you, and just mentally note this, how much money do you need to actually quit what you're doing? I mean, if you love what you're doing, keep doing it. But if you don't like what you're doing, how much money do you need so that way you can step away and you can buy your freedom back? That's what this is, buying your freedom back. That's all we're doing here is like, maybe you want to earn $5,000 a month, maybe you want $100,000 a month. It just depends on you. So networker 5K, 200 on your left, 200 on your right. You only need to directly sponsor 1 more person, so that's 4 total, and you're getting paid $1,250 per week. That's $5,000 a month. Now, as you can see, we have some more ranks. I'm not going to go through all of them, but one to know, so like you get paid 9K, 15K. I remember there was this girl that I was working with in a previous venture. She was a waitress at the time. She was earning over, I think maybe like close to $2,000, maybe not even $2,000 a month. She was 21 at the time. Her name was Tiffany. She was 21 years old, 21 years young. And she was extremely shy. She didn't really like talking to people or any of that, but she knew people. And she asked me, like, how can I make this work? And so I told her, like, all you need to do is invite them into the system. So system stands for saving you some time, energy, and money. So we do these calls every single day at 7 p.m. Dubai time, and then we have a call at 11 p.m. Dubai time, and then we do another one at 3 a.m. So literally, I mean, we're up to like, I'm up personally to like about 6 a.m. every day. So you just plug them in, they see the info, because all this is about is education. How can you create residual income, whether from the products or from this plan or both? And once they see the vision, guess what? You get credit. And so Tiffany, for the first 3 months, she didn't do a single presentation. Actually, I think it was even longer. It's probably almost a year, because she was making over $15,000 in the first 3 months, and then she started traveling with her boyfriend, and like I didn't even hear from her. And then her mom, same thing. Her mom was working at a warehouse. She's earning over $10,000 a month. Her uncle barely came from Vietnam a few months before, and he was working at Chase, and then he started earning over $10,000 a month. And they had never done a single presentation. So if they could do it, guess what? You could do it too. Now, as you can see, $25, $50, $75, $100,000 a month. Like I said, it just depends on where you want to be, where you see yourself, and how much money you need to buy your freedom back. Now, $250, $500, $750, and $1 million. So we have ranks on ranks and ranks. You got $2 million a month, $4 million a month, $8 million a month. Like I said, you don't necessarily need to be over here making $8 million a month to have your freedom, but there's infinite income potential for you, for those people that can dream big. Because let me tell you something. One of my mentors, he said, it takes the same amount of energy to think small as it does to think big. So why not? Why not you? So how do you get started? We have one package. It's called the Freedom Pack. It's $235 for the first month, and then it's $149 a month. So you get the Swiss fund, the crypto fund, Don's transformation, the debit card, which is international, and then you get the AI crypto trading software. Plus, we need to add this on here, the Incomeversity. And we have some other things that we're bringing in. We're constantly innovating, trying to give you as much value as possible. So all you have to do is, if you want to join, you just go back to the person that invited you, ask them for their specific link so they get credit, and then you're in the system. And so, yeah, it's very interesting. It's very exciting what's happening here. There's never been a company that has all of these things in one place so that the average person could truly have freedom on every level. And I mean, it's really up to you. If you align with this, then join us. If not, then don't. We're not forcing you. I mean, if you're happy at your job making $18 an hour or $12 an hour, then more power to you. But if you want something more, then we're here to help support you. And if money is an issue, I want to say one last thing. So number one, I remember when I first got started in the industry, I had like $200 to my name. The sign up was $600. So I'm like, how am I supposed to make this? And how am I supposed to get the money to sign up right now? I was dating a girl at the time, and for a man, it's like, you know, it hurts your pride a little bit, where you're like, I have to ask this girl for money, right? And so I asked her, I was like, hey babe, I need to talk to this Indian guy. It's like, can you come over here? So she comes over here to where we were at. It was a Starbucks, and she lent me the money. And 3 days later, I paid her back. So where there's a will, there's a way, right? I remember having a girl, she didn't have any money. She was like negative. She ended up buying water bottles and then selling them on the street for $1 a pop, and just built her membership or her sign-up fee. And I remember one of my buddies, he was negative 200. He had negative 200. We ended up taking him to the loan store. He got a loan, a payday loan, got started. Within a few months, he's making over $15,000 a month. So if you really see the value, $235, that's dinner for most people. So you can figure it out. And so get back to the person that invited you, and let's get it rocking and rolling. So this is for Mr. Don Smith's transformation. If you haven't already, scan the QR code and do the questionnaire, fill out the questionnaire. Today is for new clients. Tomorrow or Thursday is for people who have already done the transformation and that just want to hold that high level of frequency. And yep, if you want to stay connected with us, scan this QR code. It has all of our social medias and everything, so that way you can stay connected for all the latest for Divinfi. I appreciate you guys for being here. We'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Dubai time if you're going to be at Don's Transformation tonight here in about 1 hour from now. And yeah, we'll see you then. What do you? We're doing one today, mastermind. Oh, and join us at 11 p.m. For our mastermind and blitz call. So see you then. We'll send out the link on Telegram. I'll just send it in Telegram.
Good day, sir.
But I got some similar pants.